are you from, and how'd you get into real estate?
Right. Okay. So I'm from Philadelphia originally. I grew up in between pretty much a combination of uptown West Oak Lane area and down West Philly, down the bottom, 39th and Wyalusing. So I pretty much ping ponged in between both of those neighborhoods throughout my entire childhood. I'm one of those where your grandma stay guys, you know what I mean?
No
You
doubt.
know what I mean? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I went to school uptown, but I got a lot of family down west, and I spent the greater part of my childhood, summers, weekends, et cetera, in that neighborhood. So I hail from both. I do a lot of community events down at Claiborne and Lewis Rec Center down at 38th and Popular Street. And that's pretty much also the neighborhood close by that I'm primarily investing in as well, right across the bridge over in Strawberry Mansion.
Dope. How did you actually get into real estate? Was it something that was in your family, or what turned you on to the real estate game or made you want to get into it in the first place?
So my first introduction to real estate was actually through my stepfather. He was a handyman contractor, of some sorts, and pretty much I was working with him all the time after school and on the weekends and most of my summers. That was like mandatory. And pretty much that started at like 14, 15 years old. By the time I was, a sophomore in high school, I was turning over units for him, essentially like painting the units and stuff like that, like for other investors that he worked for. And it was one particular summer, we were working for an investor who had a lot of properties that I was familiar with the name, but I never had met the gentleman in person. So I had an opportunity to meet him one time, and he was like, "Yeah, you got some stuff about you that I see what you're doing. Like you real active for your age. You need to invest in your education." So I would think I was 16 years old. He gave me $20 and he said, "Go buy this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad." And it's like cliche, read this book. And like I'm 16, so of course I wasn't wasting my summer reading that book. So I'm like, but I'm also like, I'm also a junkie for knowledge as well. So I had made it my business to pretty much get the cliff notes on the book and with the highlights and everything. I would later on read the book, but in 16, summertime, I was like, nah,
Yeah.
I'd rather just go ahead and do this work that you paying me and my pops for right now.
What's interesting is this though. I'm pretty sure probably at the time you probably used to get irritated when he had you like, pull you on the weekend to come clean a unit. Cause again, you're a young boy. So,
right.
but you probably had no idea what that was preparing you for at the time.
Right. Well, you know what? To be honest with you, Jimmy, it wasn't. I was, what we doing next? What we doing next? What we got this weekend?
Okay, so
I
you
was
was
that.
into it.
Yeah, because it was from the beginning something that I was very much so passionate about. So it just something about putting things together. Even like earlier on, before I actually got into doing these hands-on construction projects with my stepdad, I was a Legos guy. Like my stepdad used to buy me like big, like 2,500 piece Lego sets. And I used to pretty much clear off my dresser in my room. And every day I was coming home and I was constructing something. And I used to always tell my mom, I said, man, I wish we would have recorded this stuff, like took pictures of it. I was building battleships and, and roller coasters and stuff from the Connect sets that you used to see when you would walk in Toys R Us and stuff. As soon as you walk in, like the Big Jones, like I was building those like at 10, 11 years old.
That's something that's always been in you.
Yeah, just something that I instantly just gravitated toward, actually tying all of that together with what I'm doing now came later on. But it was always something that I was very much so passionate about, and I was a hustler from day one. So I'm like, look, this is how we making money. Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Let's go get it.